Record. Cool. Yes, thank you. Okay. So is it okay with the check-ins being recorded as well, or do you want me to start at the presentation? Y'all good? We good? Okay, I see heads nodding. Okay. So, anybody care to share how you're doing with the challenges, how you're doing so far, takeaways, resistance, acceptance? This is where
I will begin because I'm behind and have not done anything. So I will alleviate myself of that immediately. I haven't done anything yet, but I plan to be caught up by the weekend. You have yourself on mute, PJ.
I'm saying you have a lot of catching up to do if you haven't done anything. Weekend.
Yeah, I can power through.
You can do it? Okay, we'll do it. Chris, tell Nandi that there should not be a passcode. Anybody have to use a passcode to come in? Make sure she's using the link that's in the group. The one she hit like on, she should be able to get in.
If she goes to the Facebook notifications, I just went there and saw you had tagged me in the link for the group and just logged in from there.
Yep. Yep, I think I tried to tag everybody so that way everybody could be able to find it. Okay, so Ty said, I'm gonna remove myself real quick. I ain't do squat. Somebody heard her say I ain't do shit, but I'm gonna catch up. All right, so who would like to share? Who's next?
This is Roithi. I'll go ahead and go next. I am on day 6. I have to do my journaling for day 6. And then I will be moving into day 7 and 8. I plan to get caught up. So I'm on average about 2 days behind with the exercises. I haven't experienced any resistance in anything I've been doing. What I do feel, because a lot of what my focus is on is around trust with people. I feel like my heart chakra is opening each day more. So I'm not feeling as much animosity. So I can say that that's been my experience thus far with doing the exercises and sticking with my water. I typically have, one of these big things every day with me when I'm working to drink from. So she's muted again. She's talking.
Good share. Thank you. Anybody else care to check in? Okay. That's it?
I've been keeping up. I was behind, but I got caught up with everything. No resistance. I'm loving my routine, doing everything. I love the reminders, and it's all feeling really nice.
Oh. So about how much time you find that this is adding to your schedule doing some of these
Well,
things?
I had already had a whole spiritual routine.
Okay.
So I'm trying to balance the two and finding now.
Okay.
And interspersing it in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I do everything for the morning.
Okay.
I do the stuff I was doing, and I do everything for the morning. I'm eventually going to be replacing some things, combining some things.
Okay.
But I would say it's a good hour.
Everybody else finding is taking about that amount of time? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Does it fit? Okay. Boom. Okay. Can I hear from someone who might be up to date?
Hey, I'm pretty much
Hey,
up to date. It's Zendra.
hey,
Um,
Zendra.
how are you?
Good.
Um, I missed day six's journaling, but I've done everything else. And so I have to go back and do that. But yeah, I love the journaling. The journaling is where the journaling is where I'm getting my epiphanies, you know.
Mm.
Um, as I write, it's like the answers are just coming. So that's beautiful. Um, I love I love everything. I think I'm finding resistance with the water because I have a challenge with water. Even like astrologically, I have hardly any water in my chart. So the water
What's your
thing,
sign? What's your sign?
I'm a Libra.
Oh.
But I have a lot of Libra placements. I have a lot of fire and air, but
Well, you need your water. You
I
need
need
the water.
water, but trust me, it's resistance, but I want the water and I need the water. So that's my challenge.
Good. Okay. Are you putting lime or anything in it?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll put lime. Right now I have emergency in my water.
What is that?
It's like basically like a vitamin C packet.
Oh,
Like
okay. Okay.
so yes.
Mhm. I have a lime and dill in mine. I find the flavor, if having that in there makes it more
More.
palatable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good.
Thank you for doing this, PJ. I'm so grateful. You know I am.
Yes. 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 It brings tears to my eyes when I hear about the breakthroughs. So thank you for sharing. Anybody having resistance or a challenge with the journaling? Okay, someone asked, oh, yeah, on our gathering before, I think somebody brought up that they had a challenge. Zindra, you care sharing your process to get the journaling going, and then maybe somebody else can share theirs, and I'll tell you guys, what I do. Especially
Okay.
since you feel like you're hearing stuff, share.
Yeah. I do everything all together. So I will do when I greet my Ori and I sit at my altar, which is near my bed. And once I'm finished doing my mantras, I'll go straight into journaling. Um, and so I'll just write like whatever the heading is. And then I'll just go into it. If the questions, whatever questions that you raise, I will answer those and then go deeper. And if for any reason I get stuck, I'll just, like you said, I will ask, my Ori or my higher self, like, help me with this. Give me the answer. And it flows for me, and I really appreciate it because I have about 100 journals that are like that a few pages are done. I love journals, but I never finish them. So this is really keeping me on task with the journaling, and I love it. So usually with each prompt I will do the back and the front of a page. Generally, that's how much I'll write, you know so that's my process.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for sharing. Yes. Anybody else want to share a process they have with it? I'm chomping at the bit to tell you guys the reason I'm doing this is because I was in an intensive and journaled and got the download to do this. That's where Emerge Powerful came from. Okay. When I tell you to trust the flow, the answers, I want to show y'all something. Wait, I gotta show you this. Go with the flow, ask the questions, and ask your own personal questions. I'm giving you suggestions. Ask your own personal questions and go with the flow. I came up with 3 books like this of journals in this time frame. The downloads can be incredible. So it's so important. The thing that I want you all to be careful of is judging, because sometimes you're right. You're like, this is probably just my ego talking. What the hell? So what if it is? As you get more comfortable with asking questions, you'll start getting answers, because every question has an answer. Sometimes we don't get the results we desire because we fail to ask the questions. So if your desire is to get your ideal mate, connect with your soulmate, how do I do that? What do I need to do? Is there anything I need to release? Is there anything I need to start? And just let it all rip. You know, just trust the process. And what's funny is you may write and never come back to read it until something hits you and like, I think I journaled about that. And it may come back. But yeah, so that's why I include the journaling, and those are just suggested questions. Feel free to ask your own personal questions, as well as feel free, if you have seen a mantra that might work for you for that day, that, you know, that's different from what I offered you, take that away as well. You know, what we're looking to do, what I'm hoping to introduce and the takeaway is, first of all, that you see you can have a spiritual habits, right? That they are beneficial, they do transform, and there is an outcome. And that it's yours personally. You can make it as you want. So by design, we first did the Ori, so you can uncover your own self-love, your ability to love self, because if we want love, we gotta first embrace ourselves and find the love in ourselves. So anything else, anybody else want to share on journaling or challenges or the daily routine?
Yeah. For
Okay.
me, I haven't been doing too much journaling. I've been creating lists in my notebook, in my journal. But creating the Ori, that's been really powerful. Counting the 108 mantras, that's been a gift. To settle, to focus, to envision, to let it seep in to the temple and the spirit, and to try to create images that go with the mantra. That's just been such a gift.
Okay.
And I would also just say, you know, Zendra, with the Oshun bath coming up, maybe that's the water gift, you know. And I had, in the second and third day, just a lot of emotions come up around the mantras, especially the one that was my best gift to the people I love is happiness. Woo! That was intense. And there was a lot of purging for me. And acknowledgement that that is my responsibility, that is my ability to respond. And then finally, I would just say, as a frame, you know, none of us are behind or ahead. We are just where we are. And that is the flow. And that is Oshun. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, look, he howling out, giving a shout out to Oshun. Don't make me go get my bell and bring her in here, because I don't know what'll happen if we do that. Don't start. Don't call her.
I have a problem with the water also.
Uh-huh.
It's a fear.
What's the fear?
Pouring the water over my head.
Ooh. Oh, so you're talking about the bath coming up?
Yes.
Okay. What's the fear?
It's been a fear forever.
Pouring water on your head.
Having water, an abundance of water in my face, anything.
Oh no, don't do it as a don't this particular bath, we're not doing like dumping water. So good, I'm glad you brought that up. This this particular one, this here, this God self, how you gonna give that water to that God self? You're not gonna, no. This is a washing, but it's not with soap and water. So imagine you're scooping that water and you are massaging and saying your affirmations. You're calling forth love and protection and joy. So just scoop it out, Lou, and gently. Some of our baths are a pour over. Some of them you are sitting in the tub and maybe you just gotta sit there. This particular one is an Ori worship kind of thing.
Okay.
And Oshun designed this one. She told me I had some other elements, and I went to her and said, "Is this it?" And see, Oshun knows all of you, and so she made this. And if you look at the elements, how it's wrapped up in love and protection, right? And so it enhances the self-love. So when you do it, LeJohn, think of worship and reverence.
Okay.
So
can I just pour it from the top to make it go to the back is what I really need to do, right? The fear is the water going in my face.
So how about if you do like this?
Okay.
Hold your head back.
Okay.
You know, and pour it on gently. And I'm telling you guys, if you know, as you bless that water and you bless those elements and you call out the ashe, the power, be in reverence as you're preparing this bath. That's number one. The whole bath preparation, from ordering your lavender, from getting your roses, from picking out the wine, all of that is a part of the ritual. So when you get your pot and you're putting the water in there, that's a part of the ritual. Call forth the water. This is water, you know, I can't live without it. So I'm just grateful that this water said yes to be the one to come for me. So you start expressing that gratitude as you're turning on the heat, even the heat to turn on the fire. Be grateful for the element of fire that can heat it and, you know, and make it comfortable for you. So and it can pull out the ashe, the essence more, because it's going to brew. And when you put the lavender in there, somebody, let's see, I want to go to the site. If anybody can go to the site and pull up the bath real quick and tell me again some of the ashe from lavender. The things that I said lavender has. Calmness. And we know lavender, when you want to sleep well, what's the first thing you do? You know, when you know herbs, you look for lavender. I've heard you put lavender at your feet, you can go right to sleep, some lavender oil. So lavender is the element of calmness and peace and love. So when you're putting that element in there, bring in your emotions and think about all of that ashe that you're putting in. And when you're putting it, you can even, you know, before, I think I'm going to suggest that we put it in the cold water and let all of it heat up, and just instead of putting the boiling water, let it all steep, boil, and, you know, with the water. You get me? Like sometimes we make tea, we heat the tea and then we put the herb in. We're going to let all this come in together. So when you put it in the cool water, I want you to masticate it, rub it together, and call forth all that and pour into it. When you put those roses in there, rub it together and put it in that water and just call forth love and friendship and beauty, everything. And then you can even say, you know, you can throw this in, you know, and rose is so beautiful, it even has its protection with those thorns, even though you're not putting the thorns in there. You can say, so I'm well protected with my love, with my beauty. So, you know, be creative and call that forth. And then when it's all done and you pour the wine, somebody give me some ashe, some elements, some essence of red wine.
It says protection, love, luck,
Celebration.
Celebration.
prosperity.
Red wine feels good to me. Yeah.
Increase
So
intuition.
I'm free when we get a little tipsy from that wine. We ain't got no restrictions here. We're free. We're loose. We're loving life. We're embracing the joy of life. And we're not fearful of judgment. So you can call all of that in, right? And let that boil. And then remember, before you do this, when you get ready to take that, before you pour that on, you are to be impeccably clean. So if you can't get black soap, ivory soap, and when you are washing yourself, wash away negativity. I'm scrubbing off negativity, doubt, fear, what? Overeating, can't get a man, all that shit coming off of me. Scrub it off, wash it off, and watch it go down the drain, right? Call forth everything that you want to release. The idea that I'm not good enough, that's gone. The idea that, you know, just whatever. We can say all kinds of stuff. Let it go down the drain and watch it go and say, hey, you gone. Let it go. Call it out. Scrub it out. Right? And after you're impeccably clean, you've got your water now. And with reverence, you are washing your ori. You are blessing your ori, and your ori is receiving all of that ashe. And it's just seeping and it's honoring you and blessing you. So take that and do it in reference. Take your time with it. And then when you go to your belly button, you know, that is your connection. That's where your birth, and that's really connected to your ori as well, right? And then when you do your feet, honor the way you walk. Honor your feet for bringing you to all of the wonderful places that will have your desires met and let you live a beautiful, joyful, peaceful, blissful life, all those things you desire. And when you finish up, make sure you're blessing your hands as well. And again, reverence, with pure reverence, just do that. And when you are done, this is important, cover your head. If you have something white, a white t-shirt, that would be great, something white to cover your head. If you could put on all white after that, that would be great. Because honestly, you may feel woozy. So not everybody will feel the same way, but you may get, because you just, you know, you just bless yourself real good. And then you pour that wine on there and, oh, you know, so all of those elements is seeping into you, is being honored. So be able to relax. It's best to do it in the evening. If you can't do it in the evening before, right, you know, be able to go to bed, give yourself at least an hour, 45 minutes or so to just chill out and sit with it. Okay. Anybody have any questions on that? All right, I'm excited for you guys on that whole bathing process because a couple of people asked me about it, and sometimes we have an image of a bath, you know, oh, I'm gonna be sitting in the tub with all these, you know, oranges and flowers and all around me. But this is really, this is the essence of the spiritual bathing. And so you really, one thing we do in Yoruba, in Ifa, and I may have told you all about it, we actually feed our ori. So that may come up, and you don't need a priest to do it. It's nice to have a priest or somebody else do it for you. But because that is you, your duty, you don't need permission, you don't need a priest, you don't need, you got it. And it's the same with your ancestors. You know, Ifa is pretty particular about all the other orishas. Oh, you can't divine to this Oshun because you're not initiated. You know, that's the religion, that's the process, the rules. But Ori, ancestors, you don't need nobody's permission, no kind of initiation or anything else to go directly to them, because that's yours. Okay? Got it? Good? Any questions? We good?
Yep.
All right. Well, y'all ready to get started in the, we'll get ready to go inside and go within. Anybody ever heard that term before you started doing this kind of practice? Go within. If you've been doing some journaling, now you have a sense of what it means when you say, go within. So we're going to go within. I am going to, let me get back to see you guys. I am going to use, today we're going to do the same meditation, which actually, again, transparency, that is hypnosis. I'm not going to even call it a guided meditation. It's hypnosis to increase your self-love, to increase your courage, increase your confidence. Okay. So I'm not, you know, a certified hypnotist, but I do this, I have done this before. I do it fairly often for others. So, but I didn't want you to confuse it with, you know, a meditation, even a guided meditation, because I'm giving you guys some strong suggestions and I'm helping you to go deep, you know, so that's where that is. So if you guys, you can feel free to, at this point, to turn off your cameras. And I'm going to ask you to, you know, feel grounded before we leave, before you cut off your cameras or before you get in that position. I want you to feel grounded. And by grounded, what I mean is put your feet on the floor. Feel your butt solidly placed in your chair. And just feel your essence sitting firmly and rooted. And that's grounded. That's the beginning of being grounded, because I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath. And just feel that deep breath just flow throughout you, your essence. Energy, go all the way down to your root chakra, which is the base of your spine. And feel connected to earth. And because, take a deep breath, and because we are so filled with gratitude, even as you release that breath to earth, I want you to take a moment and thank Mother Earth. Thank Mother Earth even for gravity, for holding you down, for providing you nourishment, or even holding the essence of water, because without it, you know, water could just be flying all over the place and we couldn't drink it. So at your own pace, just take some nice deep inhalations and feel yourself really grounded and present. where you're comfortable and you feel secure. And in the moment, you can experience a deep hypnotic trance. If for any reason or emergency you need to awaken, then you can do so with all your waking resources instantly available, totally wide awake. But for now, sit back, relax, get comfy, and okay, just close your eyes. It is now time to feel growing comfort. You don't have to do anything. Just simply pay attention to your breathing. And now, as you do, take a deep breath and hold it for a moment. That's right. And just let go as you slowly release that breath and relax. And again, deep breath in and slowly release that breath and just relax. When you relax on an out breath, your comfort only increases. That's right. You don't have to do anything at all. Nowhere to go, nothing to do as you go into trance. Noticing any pleasant sensations, processes, experiences as you go inside now. Because all you need to do is you just allow certain things to happen. To turn your attention inward, become aware of certain things occurring in your body in response to these words. And recognize and experience any reactions within that body to these words. And be able to feel how good they feel as you really feel kind of comfort. Imagine breathing through your solar plexus. Now imagine a color that makes you feel very calm and comfortable. Now, allow a wave of that color of comfort to begin to spread from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. All of your muscles becoming softer, letting go now. As you notice any sounds you hear, any words that I say, anything feelings to only increase allows you to drift off. You are free to wander and wonder as you relax even more deeply. You can know that the mind and body are one interconnected unit. Where the mind leads, the body follows. Where the body leads, the mind follows. You may hear the sound of my voice going with you. Only pleasant thoughts, pleasant images, perhaps one particularly relaxing memory drift through your mind as you fully enter this state. You don't have to open your eyes or talk. Let me do the talking for a while. You really think you are awake? You don't have to understand consciously. Your beliefs, your unconscious beliefs are all that matters. Which part is more comfortable? Funny to find all feels well. On occasion, it can be very good and pleasant, enjoying letting go certain directions and controls to permit unconscious, autonomous, independent processes to take over. You may be wondering what will shift and change first. And you can easily use all your powers of imagination, intelligence, and inner focus, ensuring you will achieve all you desire from this session without knowing how you did it consciously. How much further into trance and hypnosis can you go? Enjoy feeling more and more comfortable as you go deeper inside. You could notice words and notice noticing words. The deeper you go, the more wonderful you feel. The more wonderful you feel, the deeper you can go. Now, that's right. As we continue, you can hear my voice, and at other times, it might seem quiet or distant, and at other times, it doesn't matter. If you can hear it at all, because you can allow a deeper part of you to hear all you need to hear process that while I'm quiet. And anyone can feel confident each day. You can follow your own associative processes to these words, can you not? Like the word comfort. Follow where it leads you now. Your eyelid muscles can feel relaxed, that your eyes easily remain closed. And as they do, feel even more absorbed in pleasant posture. Each out breath helps melt past tension. It floats away into the distance like storm clouds, melting, fading away in the sunshine, guaranteeing your success. Knowing you don't have to do those things you once did. Person's mind develops other awareness, the body can rest. You don't have to move unless that movement brings you more of that wish you wish. You are courageous. You are confident. You are joyful. You are peaceful. Your higher self speaks to you often, giving you clear direction. Your spiritual practice helps to ensure your success. And you delight in the awakening to more pure self-love. To be loved is to love. And to love is to be loved. Right now, your higher self has a word for you. One word you are being given now. You see it? That word will enhance your life, and your life is enhanced. You are blessed. fully wide awake and alert, feeling calm, confident, and relaxed, feeling very good. On one, gradually awakening. After this session, you will feel an inner warm glow of confidence, a renewed optimism for life. 2, realizing how much better you feel, all past tension gone, and all unnecessary relaxation leaving your body, feeling more energized. 3, lighter and brighter. And when you wake up in a few moments, you'll feel very, very healthy, happier, and more centered than before. You'll be lively, feel fine, alert, full of energy and vitality. 4, normal feelings now returning to each and every muscle group, more aware of your body and the room around you. You can forget to remember what you can remember to. Feeling so good. 5, everything back to normal, waking, breathing, mind clear and very alert. Feeling great and re-energized. As soon as you're ready, open your eyes, wide awake and alert. Okay? Bye. Feel good? So how we doing? Y'all coming back? We back?
Coming slowly.
Girl, I was gone.
You were gone?
I was gone. I heard, you're coming back. I thought you were shouting. Did you start shouting at the end?
Come back. Wake up. Jolt you from your sleep. How was that? Anybody want to share? You did share, Renee, but anybody else want to share? Anyone else?
It was very relaxing.
Good, good, yeah. Did anybody get a word?
I didn't get a word. I got a picture.
Okay, okay.
So, and it's, yeah, now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, there was a picture that came to mind. It wasn't a word.
Okay, good. Okay.
I was in a whole nother destination.
A whole nother destination. Oh, cool. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Good to see so many faces. Hey, Ron. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. So, okay. I won't see you guys. You'll see my presentation. So I'm going to share. Let me see. Oh, I got to share my screen first, right? I like the idea of working with 2 screens, but y'all know what happens when I work with 2 screens. Grandson, Jahiz, I'm gonna need you to close the door and be quiet till I'm finished with my class, okay? All right. All right, so we did this. Let's see what's next. Okay, we did the recap. We did that already. So now we can go right into our lesson. Talking about ancestors. Ancestors are in fact deities. So you guys have learned about 2 deities so far. What's the first deity?
Me.
Ashe.
Ori, me.
Ori, me. Because you made the decision to make this journey. Ifa believes we make the decision to come back into the same family.
Oh, wow.
That's one of the beliefs in Ifa. I don't know. But I felt for a long time that it's a conscious that we made the decision to choose this. I believe that. So that's the first deity. The next deity are our ancestors. In Ifa, we call them Egun, E-G-U-N, Egun. Egungun Bawase, Egungun Bawase. So they are your first line of defense. You are their legacy. They care about us. They remember us. Now, all of us may remember some ancestors who we say, I don't know about that one. Anybody got any people like that around them? Some ancestors who may have been on this journey that you remember and you're like, I don't know if I want to honor that one or think about that one as a deity. Here's the thing. There are maybe some ancestors who we need to wait on to venerate, but there's a truth about most of our Egun, our ancestors, have good traits and characteristics. I recently heard someone else say this, so I'm gonna steal a story, and I saw similar in another reference I was using. Like, you might have had that uncle who was a drunk or on drugs and stayed in trouble. But he was also the one who could piece together and fix your car, give him some bubble gum and a stick, and he could get your car to running. He had a mechanical trait, a creative trait. You may have an ancestor who had just an awesome work ethic, even though they may have appeared to be emotionally absent from the family. So what you want to do is to think about, as you're looking at your altar and you're thinking about your ancestors, what are the traits and the characteristics that I want to, that I can see about them that I want to infuse into my life and call on them to utilize that trait or characteristic to help me out. Okay. And also, when you are looking at setting up your altar and honoring your ancestors, recognize that it doesn't matter what their religious practice was or their beliefs. When we honor them, we can also honor them with the beliefs that they held. So my daddy was a Baptist minister. So on my altar, I may have a cross or a Bible. Actually, I have a tape of his last sermon. We call it his last sermon because my brother had a tape recorder and was asking him questions. And when we listened to it, it sounds like a great sermon. He was talking about stewardship. So, so I want you to look at the aspects of their lives and to honor that. Don't be afraid or ashamed, or, my family was staunch Christians and I don't know what they'd appreciate about it. Then bring to your practice what they believe, what they honored, and recognize that, okay? So we're going to talk about building an altar. I can't see everybody, but who in here already has an altar? If you do, just unhit the mic and say, I do.
I do.
Okay.
An ancestral altar?
Yes.
I do.
Okay, Dusty, Zendra, who else?
I have one.
Yvonne, who else?
I have one too, Charlene.
Charlene, okay. Anybody else?
Camille.
Camille
Ty.
has one. Ty has one. All right.
I do.
My tribe with me. Curtis, did you say you have one as well?
I do.
All right. Look at my tribe.
I'm starting.
This is my Egbe. Ileke. Egbe is your tribe. So y'all my tribe. Of course, a lot of you all would have altars, and the rest of you are ready and prepared to set up them. So If you have an altar already and it's working perfectly well, you're happy with it, let it be. I'm not going to suggest you make any changes unless you hear something that you think may enhance what you already have. But if this is your first time setting up an altar, here's my suggestion to you. The items that I'm going to suggest you can consider as an electron magnet. This is what is going to pull them in. So you want to start with a white cloth and a fresh glass of water. And if you have photographs, as much photographs of your deceased ancestors as you can, as well as a list of names. And on your ancestor altar, make note of this. If you have one already, do not put anybody living on that altar. You know why?
Because you don't want them to become an ancestor?
Yeah, because that's their realm, and you don't want them in that. You don't want them in that realm. So if the best picture you have of your deceased father is you and him together, please cut yourself out that picture. Do not put yourself on that altar. You ain't trying. Y'all ain't trying to go there, are you? You don't want to be an ancestor yet, do you? So that is their space. Okay, got it? You want to have a candle. So these are the elements of, earth, wind, and fire. So the candle also has an essence of wind as well in the fire. A flower or plant to pour libation. Okay, unless you want to be like me and spray them with your libations. I'll put it in my mouth and go. So that's a part of the tradition. I have a shrine as well. In all my shrines, I'll take a sip and we call it spraying. A list of your ancestor names. This is nice if you have a bell or a staff to call them. And actually, Jahiz, a staff, there's a process to finding a staff. It would be really great if you could work with a priest to get a staff, we could divine to see if this is one your ancestors welcome and want you to have. We'd help you decorate it and set it up and feed it even. And that can be, I'm doing like this because you can use that to pound and call them. You're calling them. So when you go to your shrine, to your altar and you do that, they know, oh, she's ready for us, okay? If you're able to go to their graveyard and pull up some dirt and put at the altar, that's good. If you don't, no problem. But all of those are just great enhancements. And here's, when you build your altar and you set it up, you want to make a commitment to regular usage and make a commitment that you will keep. Because this is now, you've summoned your tribe. You're saying, I have a place for you. So if you make that place and then you don't tend to them, it's like you got guests in your home and you're not even offering them water or speaking to them or whatever. Because you are really calling a life force into your home when you set this up. I want you to be clear. This is what you are inviting and what you are saying. And we're going to look at reciprocity here because you're going to give them something and you're expecting something back. If you set up this altar and you decide to go to the altar, to your tribe, to your ancestors, your Egun, when you have problems and you're making offerings and you're honoring them, when you have problems, they will help you out. But if you are only going to them when you have problems, what are you conditioning to happen? They say, oh, problems will get us some attention. So it's like you are inviting crisis if that's the only time you go to them. So you want to make a commitment for regular usage. And here's the thing, tell them once a week, I'm gonna come see you on Sunday. Come see him on Sunday. I'll bring you some fresh water, something to drink, coffee on a Sunday. If you want to commit to daily, tell them. But whatever commitment you make, I suggest you keep the commitment. My commitment, because I'm used to this, okay? So if you're not there, you know, don't look to set yourself up for something you're not ready, prepared to do. But as I shared with you guys, my commitment, I speak to my Ori first, bless my Ori, bless myself at my altar, and I go to my ancestors and I bless them and I thank them and I ask them for assistance. I got an issue, I bring it to them. Let's see, I got a chat. If somebody tells me that they can't hear anything that I'm saying, oh, if they can't, Yvonne, I love you. Yvonne says, if they can't drink, why do we give water or coffee? And we're gonna bring them a plate of food. Yvonne, we're gonna bring them the best desserts that we make. When we have a feast, we're gonna put it all there. We're gonna set it real pretty. And we know that, remember the law of energy, the law of oneness, all of that. The energy, just like burning the money, the energy of the exchange is as good as watching them eat and enjoy that. Anyone have an experience that they can share that you may have experienced with your ancestor altar, either making an offering or bringing food or water or wine or cigarettes or anything? Anybody want to share?
I mean, I personally hadn't had anything spectacular to happen, but what it does for me is when I do honor them, I just feel that I'm not alone, that ritual or that communication, it just reminds me that I'm not alone. And you know, there are even times when I ring my bell and I'll, you know, call on those in my lineage to come, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there are times when the house is very quiet and I just just start hearing shifting or just little movements and sounds, and I don't have no rats and mice in my house, you know.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, okay, I did ask for them to come and make their presence known, you know, and stuff. So so I just, you know, when I just feel that just in me talking to them like I would when they were here, I just feel like I'm not alone.
You feel
That's what it does for me.
Okay. So I can share with you guys, I was looking for it now and I didn't make room on the agenda for it, but I can share with you, one time my ancestors did a real battle for me and left evidence. And I have a walk-in closet that I have dedicated to them. And I burn candles, you know, keep just a white candle burning all the time. You know, I use a pillar candle, and when I go and speak to them, if the candle is burned out, then, you know, I'll say a prayer, keep another one lit. You don't have to do that. You just light it when you want, you know, when you're making your offerings or you're speaking, you don't have to keep it lit. I don't have to keep it lit, it's just something I do. But I came into my shrine room, my ancestor room, it's not a shrine room. Well, it's a shrine now, because now I have an ancestor shrine. Then it was an altar, I didn't have a shrine. And there were black specks all over my room. On the altar, the white cloth, the walls. When I pull up because I took pictures, I'll show you what was going on. And it was clear somebody was trying to hurt me, and they took care of it and took battle for me. I have gone to them with specific requests, and I have been able to see the evidence of requests. Of course, I brought all, brought candles for all of you to them as well. And ask them, because I have a shrine, I can call on your people as well. Right? So, yes, Yvonne, the energy of bringing them water, bringing them a plate of food, if you know there's something, I'll tell you the difference, Renee, in a second. If you know there's something that your family traditionally enjoys, we bring it. And we offer it and we set it there and we, tell them why we brought it, what we're doing. And, and again, what I would suggest to you guys is to ask them for something specific that you want to happen in your life and let them know that you're bringing the offerings for that. And as you become more and more comfortable, you can ask them for something specific too and say, now when that happens, I'm gonna bring you that, right? Like we know your grandmother Zindra loves okra gumbo. Look, grandmama, you helped me sell this fine piece of artwork, right? I'm gonna make your gumbo. It's not gonna even be vegan. I'm gonna put that okra in there just like you like it, right? So it's the energy of exchange. Renee asked, what's the difference between a shrine and an altar? Good question. An altar is a space that any of us can make for any aspect. You can set up an altar for even the Orishas. You can set up an altar for Jesus. You can set up an altar for whatever, bring in the artifacts, the elements, things that remind you of that person or that deity, and set that up, which is what we're doing with, bringing the pictures and the candles and all that. So we're setting that up. A shrine is consecrated, and it's made by a priest. So consecration, somebody tell me what does consecrated mean to them? Somebody can look it up. But what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear consecrated?
Blessed or sacred.
Blessed or sacred. Look what it says when I put it in Google. Did anybody Google it? Consecrated in Google, I don't know which dictionary you're using, says of bread and wine in Christian belief, declared to be or represent the body and blood of Christ. So guess what? In Ifa tradition, when we say something is consecrated, it means that the life force energy of blood has been sacrificed. Now we don't sacrifice people. We don't sacrifice people, but we will sacrifice like birds or a lamb or a goat, all those things y'all eat. Just like Jewish people, right? When they say their food is kosher, what they're saying is they killed it as a sacrifice. They killed it as a sacrifice, as an offering. The Old Testament is full of offerings, animal offerings. And Jesus was, the whole idea of the New Testament, Jesus replaced that. Well, where do you think the Jewish people got it from? African traditional religion. So when we say something is consecrated, it has been blessed, it has been consecrated generally with, well, in Ifa, it always means an animal sacrifice. What kind of animal? A bird, a hen, a rooster. When you get into four-legged, then it's even a bigger idea. So, and that's the energy of it. Okay. Did that answer it for you, Renee? I can't hear you. Unmute.
I'm
You got it.
sorry.
That's okay.
So everything we're doing would only be altars, right?
Right,
Okay,
right.
thank you.
If you worked with a priest and they helped you get a staff, it would be fed. And when it's fed, it's got, we call it, when we say fed, generally there's maybe some blood involved. Now, when we feed our ori, like you can feed your ori no blood, then you're not gonna use blood. In our tradition, to sacrifice, you should be a priest in our tradition, right? So that's the expanded version, but what we're doing is, within your spiritual practice, you are taking advantage of the essence of your ancestors and inviting them to be your tribe to help you live more empowered and more joy-filled. Make sense? I want to see some faces around here. Where y'all hiding behind these names? We're not meditating no more. What y'all doing to me? Got me talking to black screen. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Show up. Show up. I love it. I love it. I love it. So any more questions on that? Uh-oh.
I don't have a question. I actually have a praise report.
Okay. Who's talking?
Birthday.
Wait, who's talking? Oh, Yvonne? Destiny?
Destiny.
Who's? Okay, cool. Okay.
My grandmother's birthday just passed not too long ago, and I wrote her a letter, and I burnt some ancestor money, and I burnt it. And not too long ago, while I was at one of my friend's house, well, she's on here, Lou, hey Lou. She came to visit me, and at first I didn't know what it was, but I know she gave me a really big hug. We were watching Jeopardy. That's why she came. We were watching Jeopardy, and she came and she sat on my lap and she gave me a real big hug. I don't know if she kissed me or if she just touched my lips, but I felt her, and it was so exciting because that was my first visit. And in my letter, I asked her to come visit me.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her before she left to come visit me. I can't remember if I've seen her yet. And then Yvonne is my niece. I got a couple of nieces on here. Good stuff. So let me share this with you guys. You may or may not have that experience. So has anybody here felt the presence of an ancestor, deceased ancestor, with or without an altar? Have you ever felt that already?
Well,
I have.
Okay, who's talking? Camille?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say I have, but I was a little lifted at the time, so I don't know if that counts. But it was pretty clear. My paternal grandmother.
Yeah. Anybody get it and it scares the shit out of them?
You know I do this gig.
This is Roethia. Actually, prior to doing any of this, I had a really good friend pass. And I recall dreaming that I was having this full-on conversation with him. And whatever the space was, it was very bright and warm and comfortable. And there was a point where something clicked in my head that he's dead. Like, you're talking to a dead person. So of course I woke up out of my sleep like, oh shit. I was just having a real-time conversation with someone that I was close with. And actually this week, last night, to be exact, I was telling Ty, I was like, something poked me in because I had my arm like this sleeping, and I felt something poke me. And when I opened my eyes, all I could see was a figure. I couldn't make out if it was male or female or anything like that. But I was like, something poked me on my arm. I don't know what that was. And that scared the shit out of me. Because I was like, okay, who was that? I don't know who that was.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Let me share with you. If you have had visitations before, good chance, it's a good chance your ancestors are trying to get your attention. Now, your people already know what you're up to. So I'm getting wrote at this saying, come on with it. Come on with it, we're ready. The good news is if they have been bothering, because I got to E5 because my people was moving shit all in my house. And I didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, y'all coming through here. I don't know how to call you when I need you. What you know, let's do something together or something. And it's a long story. I'll tell you about that. But the good news too is if anybody has been bothered by them, when you set up an altar space, they know they're welcome and they'll be contained. So, you know, and also if something is bothering you and you've got an altar space, they're gonna help. You ain't welcome here, right? So that's the good news. Almost everybody, if you think about it and you go back in your mind, you know you have felt their presence, you've seen something, something has let you know that life goes on beyond this. So the altar space, again, Ro, your people are saying, get with it, we ready.
Well, that makes sense because there's a lamp, it just stopped working. But I had a lamp in my living room that periodically, there was nothing wrong with it, but it would just turn off. And depending on who I had on my house, it might flicker. And I would sit back and be like, okay, Grandma, I hear you. That would be my response. Like, I know you here. I recognize you here. You let me know you're present. Probably this is not a good person to have in my house. So I'm going to ask them to leave. The light would stop flickering. It would just be fine.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that good news? Isn't that good news to know?
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who are asking me about spirit guides, they're probably ancestors. More than likely it's an ancestor. We don't know all these people. They know you, but we don't know all these people. I used to, and again, our beliefs change, and I'm saying this today, who knows what I'll say tomorrow, because at one time I talked a lot about angels. But what I've come to believe, a lot of what I thought were angels were probably ancestors. So often what we're even saying are spirit guides, they're probably your egum. Because and the nice thing about it, if you think about why ancestor veneration and honoring can be so powerful, is because they have walked and experienced this shit. They know the challenges, but now they're in a dimension where time doesn't exist, so they can see all this way, that way, this way, that way, all of it going on at the time. So when you say, help me guide my path so I can be on the good track, they already know what's ahead and how they can steer you. So when you start feeling these nudges and feeling this guidance, y'all, I'm so mad at myself. I swear, I'm so mad right now today. Yesterday, I never played a lottery, and I was told, play the lottery. I ain't played. Then I find out today somebody from Maryland won that day on ball. That's my money. I know it was. And when I was told to go do it, I wouldn't get my ass up and go do it. I don't care what y'all say, that was my money. And I don't want to hear who won it. And if it's at the Royal Farms, I'm going to blow it up.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I felt the same way. I went and bought my tickets too.
Oh, well, maybe it was just a fleeting thought, okay.
You can't have Zoom meetings if you blow that building up.
Well, this is what I would, okay, so I won't blow it up, all right. But anyway, so how did I
have a
on
question. I have a question.
Sure.
Are we to purchase the earlier in our rituals or practices, you put something about ancestral money. Are we to purchase ancestral money and write on it or what?
Okay, so honestly, the burning the ancestral money is a diaspora tradition. It's not done in, traditional. And it's a good way to let them know, yeah, Lou has some ancestral money, and there's some that even looks like American dollars that you can buy off of Amazon. So you might have to pay $10 for a pack of ancestral money.
It's
So
called ancestral money. That's what it's called.
They call, yeah. And the Chinese see that it's an Asian thing too. So the one she showed us looked like Asian money. So you'd have to pay like $10 at least to buy it. So if you want to burn $1 instead.
Yeah,
But if this is something you think you might be doing regular, you just as well buy ancestor money.
It is. It looks Chinese. There are the ones that look like dollar bills, but I try to get the one with the largest denomination possible. And then you write. For me, I burn ancestor money just to save for my ancestors' debts in this world and beyond. And normally you can put your petition on it, but right now I've just been burning the money and just establishing a relationship with the Egun.
Thank you.
So, and I just got a pack. Don't get this pack with the credit cards in there. I don't know what to do with the credit cards. Anybody know what to do with those?
No, but I ordered them.
I know. When I realized that's the picture I showed y'all before, I didn't have credit cards in there. So I don't know, maybe we can charge something to them. I don't know, right in there. Look, it's $10 million credit limit. Ooh.
I was going to say, you know, that's current today, digital.
That's currency, yeah.
Yeah, and digital.
Yep. So yeah, so if you're going to continue to practice, this is something good to have on hand, which is the same thing with the lavender and the different herbs. You may, I think I shared this book last night when I was talking about the herbal baths. This is a good book to have as well. Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. And you can see, like, if you start, I don't know if we'll get to that practice. We won't get to that practice here, but even like doing some candle magic, infusing candles with herbs to get what you want, get some things moving for you. So let's see what we've got in the chat because I want to continue on. Let's see, bless give things. Somebody said felt spirit is scary. Yeah, it can initially be scary. Tiffany, you want to share about your fear? Because she's one who's like, I don't know, because they still be coming and I'm scared. So
I'm definitely getting a lot better about it. Your explanation of why it happened makes me feel a little bit more confident about it. So I'm definitely not as nervous and scared as I used to be. I'm not even going to claim that anymore.
Good. Because that really will contain them. That'll help contain them because they know they don't have to fight for your attention anymore. Because then, I'm here, I'm welcome here. You're bringing me water, you're coming to me. So let me get back to the presentation because this is reciprocity. We're bringing them offerings to them. And I want you to be real clear that they are available to you for you to ask and tell them what you need. Use them. Use them. And when you become even better at this, maybe we'll do that next Emerge Powerful. You can learn to divine to them and ask specific questions of them and get answers. What we can do, our pendulums, I'm looking for us to charge for our Ori. You could also charge a pendulum and go before your ancestor shrine and ask questions. And everybody, I know like some people have pulled cards and shown cards. So everybody, you should, figure out a good divination for you to embrace, to augment your intuition, to give you more clarity. And we can talk about the levels of more accurate divinations. pendulum is, you know, on the lower level, but there are ways that you can elevate your divination to your ancestors and say, is this a good mate for me? Is this a good job opportunity for me? Should I take this trip? And they'll respond back. So even when you go and sit before them, as you are sitting as an altar, start journaling and ask them questions and see what they're saying. Because again, all these energetic forces around you, they want to commune, they want to help. So take advantage of it. Anybody, everybody with me? Y'all with me?
Yes, Mama.
Okay, any questions?
I have a question.
I'm listening.
So if several people from the same family like ours is calling on our ancestral line, do they become more powerful that way?
Ooh, good question. You want to see and find out? Who we
Yeah,
want
let's
to call
try
on?
it. Let's try it out.
Who we gonna call on?
We can call on Granddaddy.
Now the thing about it with my shrine, this is important too, which is why it's good to work with a priest, honestly. Within my shrine, there's an hierarchy, because everybody will want to come and tell you something. But within, there's an hierarchy, and there's somebody who's more elevated and can say, look, let me speak for the group.
Okay.
Because you'll have them going that way, and they're gonna get in trouble before they get it. So there is an hierarchy. But if you know, in particular, like if we say, well, you know what, your grandmother could make a banging German chocolate cake. Let's all make a German chocolate cake and depend on her to infuse it. Let's see what we get. You know, something like that. Whatever. You can, and because you're calling on their traits and their attributes, yes, if you wanted to get specific with one, that's a good thing. However, when we start working really with the shrine, we start more depending on the hierarchy, which is why, again, I can call on your people, you know, folks I'm not even related to. I can start, you know, working with your ancestors as well.
Okay.
Makes sense? But if you wanna, we can play with them and see, because they ain't gonna get mad at us. They'll probably be tickled and say, what you want me to blow out a candle for all of you all at 3 o'clock? Okay. Okay,
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay, so we looked at ancestors. Oh, y'all saw that's my grandfather. That's Hot Papa. I had him covered with y'all, so y'all saw him. Am I sharing my screen? Am I sharing my screen? Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we've talked about, okay, and that's a picture of my altar. I didn't take a picture of my shrine because my shrine stays covered. It's not something we generally show off. So that's a picture of my altar. And for this, I don't usually have 3 candles, but it's so funny. Again, they'll talk to you. They wanted purple, green, and yellow candle that day. And y'all know that's New Orleans.
Mardi Gras colors.
Yeah, yep. And later when I got my ancestor shrine, my Babalao, the priest, told me they like purple. I need to keep a purple candle periodically for them. Okay. So we've got the elements that you need. Let's see what's next. Okay. So now that you have your ancestor altar set up, you want to get in the habit of greeting it daily. This week, I'd like you to start considering your journaling around them rather than your Ori altar. And fresh water, light your candle. Liquor is always good. Gin in this tradition is always a good alcohol. Funny thing, I'm gonna share with you. Now I set up my altar, as a lay person, before I even knew anything about getting into Ifa. And so be aware, be cognizant when you get a feeling or a message or something, take it. You really getting it. Y'all gonna love this. Granddaddy and grandmama couldn't be on the altar together. When I first set it up.
What were they mad at each other? Why?
I think it was because they were competing for the attention with me, and they hadn't worked it out. So after I started, going to both of them, one down here, one here, and I started doing the work, then the harmony came, and I heard my daddy say, I'm ready to go in the room with all of them. So everybody's together now. But I heard that, I just felt it in my spirit. They don't want to be together. And the funny thing is, my daddy used to like Budweiser. So I brought him a Budweiser, and he said, I don't drink that no more. I brought my mother some cigarettes. She said, I don't want them Salems no more. And I thought for sure that she was in heaven smoking her cigarette. But you may have an ancestor who's like, please bring that to me. Yes, I do want it. I missed that. So I say all that to say, when you do it, when you are there, you will get messages. Kim, you on here? You want to share your experience? Kim went to sleep. Kim faking it.
I'm here.
There she is. Yeah, come on, share your experience.
That's
you
a
want
lot.
to? I'll put you on the spot. You don't want to share.
Well, Patsy first helped me set up my altar with my mom. And the first night that I did it, I went in, I put a picture up, I put some candles up, and I prayed. I prayed to her, and I cried. It was a really lovely reunion. And I felt good about it. And I like that Pat's, and I don't know if anyone has these concerns, but I like how Pat's pretty much stresses, it's nothing to fear. They're here to help, I think that we've been conditioned to think that it's from a negative space, which is not, so I immediately, after just, talking to Pat's and us really just having a deep conversation about it, release the fears around it, okay? But that night when I set up my altar and, I lit my candles and everything, I cried, I prayed to her and everything, and I felt good, went on to bed. Well, that night, honey, she came into the room. She was so happy. She was so happy that I visited her. And I was telling Pat about my experience because I don't know if you ever heard of when you're in bed and you feel the presence of someone, but you can't move. No, you're actually in a dream, but you can't come out of the dream. And society used to call it like having a witch on your back where you can't move. Okay. All right. So, because you're really in a deep sleep, and that happened to me that night after I, did the altar and praised her and prayed to her that night. I was like, Pat, she came in my room, and you're like I said, you're in a deep sleep, and you feel paralyzed that you cannot move. Okay. And she was just swirling around in the room, and I'm like, but I was so in tune to it that I was calling out for her. I was like, mommy, mommy, and I heard that you can't like touch them or anything. That's why when that's happening, you're really in a deep sleep, you know. But
It's called sleep paralysis.
and I was telling Pat, I said, that has happened to me many times before. So she's been trying to, like she said, your ancestors are coming for you. They want to be there for you. They want to bless you. So it was just so crazy that that happened to me on that night when I visit. That was like confirmation. And no, this is not witches on my back. This is my mom trying to get in contact with me, let me know she's ready to bless me. So it was an awesome experience. And, you know, ever since then, that's when Patsy was telling me, I was like, and then like she came 2 nights later, I was like, they keeping me up. And that's when Patsy was telling me, she was like, well, you need to tell them when to come visit you, you know, let a day, because she got so excited. Like I was having that experience, like, you know, a couple of times a month. And I'm like, Mom, I'm trying to sleep. So.
Yeah, good point. So really let them know. Let them know, look, I gave you a space, that's where you come. Don't let them disrupt you and interfere with you. You know, you have that jurisdiction and they understand. And even if you tell them, look, I ain't ready to see, but so much, let them know, they understand. So that's why I asked if anyone has had experience with someone who has crossed over, because most of us at some point has had something. I remember before I knew again anything about any of this, one time my daddy came to me so clearly on his birthday. And I had forgotten it was his birthday. And he came to me and the song had me singing Ray Charles. And I'm like, why am I singing I Can't Stop Loving You? And I couldn't stop singing it. And I had to get up out the bed and sing it. It was like that kind of music to me. And I'm singing and I'm like, why am I singing this song? Ray Charles sings this song. Ray Charles. Ray Charles is blind. Daddy, it was September 1, his birthday. And I had forgotten that. I didn't acknowledge him. Earlier in the day, I was in the card store trying to figure out who I needed to buy a card for. But I'm in there like, somebody's birthday, and that's how he showed up. So they are around and they want our attention. So I think that what happened where they didn't want to be together, because my mother has come to me before as well. So they're like, well, I called her, and they were like, you know, battling. So now they see, oh, all of us can be here together. So give them, you know, what you think they may enjoy, you know, coffee, food. If you make a nice meal, bring an offering to them. And offer it to them, but I'm telling you, make your requests known. Honor them, acknowledge them, pray to them, ask for guidance, and sing or make your offerings. Write down what you are asking for, right? Write it down. And the reason I'm saying write it down, so that when it happens, you can remember that you did ask them for that help. And let them know, I want to see demonstrations of this. I want to go from, you know, I'm coming to you all with belief. Let me be the embodiment. Let me see what you can do for me. So give them something specific and give them an offering, and it doesn't hurt to even promise them a bigger reward once you see what you want. Okay, any questions on that? How we doing?
What's an example of reward?
What your people like? Who asked me that?
It was Tiffany. So
okay. Whatever
they like.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you might want to bake, you might say, I'll bake you a cake. You know, and I know this might sound strange, but again, I want you all to get in the habit. Ask, what would you like? And if you don't feel like you're getting an intuitive answer, then bring them something you think. Okay. I do want you all again to get in the habit of asking questions, okay?
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's about it. So here's a picture of another table that's set up Again, we recommend a white tablecloth. If you already have it set up and it's not white, that's fine. The personal items, pictures, water, ancestor money. I also have, real money on my shrine. I have everybody's names that I can think of. Around, I would share something with you. Your mother came to me on her birthday in a dream. I am embarrassed to say I was missing her name on the list. Now, what is a good idea when you set up your shrine, call out all the names of the deceased that you know of and honor them. I'm gonna go over that process with you. And I always make mention names who I know, but I may have forgotten. Names I don't know and I never will know. I honor you. So I called, so she was covered. But here's what happened. I had a dream that an old high school estranged friend called me on the phone, and I'm like, why are we talking? It didn't make sense. When I woke up and opened my phone, the first text I saw was, it was your mother's birthday, and Aunt Yvonne's birthday. And I said, that was Tyler. So I bet you I put her name up there. I'm so sorry. So that's why I say I need her picture. I need her picture. And I'm working, she's like, you working with my children and you don't have me up there with me? She's crazy. Okay. So when you set up your shrine, have a list of, it's not your shrine, you guys are setting up an altar. Have a list of all the deceased ancestors that you can think of. And one of the best ways to do it, mine, because I got out of chronological order, but the ones who died the first, or really the older ancestors, like King Carl is an ancestor to us. He was like 16 when he died, but he's an ancestor. So list all the deceased that you know of, and if you can, put it in chronological order of their death, not their age, their death. And when you set it up initially, have that list and pour libations as you call each one name. The Yoruba word is ibase, but you can say I pay homage and call their names. Okay, so have a big pot to pour it in, or a big plant, or pour it if you on the ground floor, but a little drip for each one of them. And when you do that, also tell them that I would like the most elevated one to do the speaking for the group. Because again, everybody may want to talk at once, but what we want to hear from the most elevated. And they know who that is. And as you get further along, a priest or a priestess can help you define who that might be. They can even give you names, of who it is, who it might be. But I want you guys to know you're safe. Clean the space. It's a good idea always to sage the area before, or that Palo Santa, whatever. Clean the area, wash the table off, the area off with some Florida water or some orange water, clean it good, bless it. It's a good idea with bringing this in, to sage your entire house. Just because, you don't want too much movement going on. Okay. Any questions? Any more questions? We good? We ready? We ready? All right. All hearts are happy? All right. Well, let's get grounded and close out in gratitude. Again, I ask you guys to please share in the group. I did a live the other day. So midweek, I may do something, not a live, might try a room. before we meet again. I am going to Puerto Rico Saturday, so I'll be in Puerto Rico Saturday to Wednesday. I'll still give you guys your challenges. We'll be back next Thursday. So pray for me for safe travels, but all my shrines and my people have told me, baby, go ahead, we got you. We got you. So I bless them for that. I rejoice in their protection, their coverage, even in the midst of all of this, that I am covered. And just so you guys know, I pray for your covering, your blessings constantly. So what's showing on my screen?
Your PowerPoint.
Granddad.
Okay, I see. Okay. So I just want this screen to be up. Okay, so just get in a place of comfort, getting grounded again. I like to take out a cleansing breath, just kind of releasing all the the excitement of connecting and talking about ancestors, and just get present. We're going to close with gratitude. So taking a deep breath at your pace, holding it and breathing gratitude, and slowly releasing worry, doubt, and fear. Taking another deep breath in and holding it, recognizing that gratitude can cover and replace anything unwanted. Exhaling at your pace. And another deep breath of gratitude with love. Gratitude is love. And on the exhale, you're just feeling every bit of worry gone. So it's in this space of the present moment, right now. Right now, we recognize that nothing else exists but this moment. And in this moment of being present, we experience gratitude. There's nothing to regret in the past, because all that is happening is in the now. There's nothing to be anxious about in the future, because in this moment, all there is now. So in this moment, we carry into all moments gratitude, love, hope, and the power to know that we can consciously create the life we desire. Ashe, and so it is. Release. Thank you, everybody. Love you madly.
Good night. Have a great
Good
trip.
night. Good night. Enjoy your
Thank
trip.
you.
Safe trip.
Good night, everybody.
Safe
Good night.
travels.
PJ, will you still have access to the internet, or that's gonna be off? Like if we wanted to,
No, I'm gonna
email-
have access. I'll have full access to everything.
Okay,
I'll
so
have
like
full-
if we wanted to message you, we could still do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I meant to bring up to everybody about the belly dance. So we'll remember that on the agenda next time.
Oh, that's okay. All right, fine, no problem. All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Auntie.
Thank you, Chris.
That's it.
Love you.